How's it going, y'all? This is Ryan De La Garza, and this isn't actually going to be a Desmos demo as much as I think this is more of like a run through. I won't be breaking down specific CL syncs or anything like that, but just kind of running you through the computation layer that's built behind there and kind of talking about what's making the activity tick. So a little bit different. But we're still going to get some good info out of it. So this is based around March 2020's Match My CL Challenge with card sorts. And so what we have here is a basic card sort, right? So I can move things around. Students are matching graphs to different expressions and equations. And so as I come over here on the second screen, I can check it, right? So right now it's going to tell me I have less than half correct. And I got this little hamster give me a thumbs up telling me I got this. So let's keep working through and see how things go, right? So if I start matching that, let's try again. A little bit of encouragement. Okay, still have less than half correct. Now let's see what happens if I get something wrong. Okay, all right, Llama's still telling me I'm doing great. Well, what happens if I'm still a student and I'm still not getting it? I move it, I'm still not sure. Now I have a support graphic. Oh, okay, I might need a little help. Now I have something that's reminding me of what's going on. And if you notice up here, this is also throwing a note over to the teacher dashboard to let the teacher know this student might need some help. They've done 4 times, press the button now 4 times, and they're still less than half correct. So you may need to pop over and kind of check in on them and see what's going on. So let's go ahead and let's get this thing sorted a little bit more correctly so I can see what's going on. So now if I check it out, okay, great work going on, and let's bring it home. Got it, right? So now if I want to look at what the computation layer, right? What's happening here? So let's dive into my graph component because that's where a lot of the magic's going on. So I have my bounds that's giving my window setting. These variables right here I have for the total cards and then the cards sorted correctly. So cards is going to be the sort one, total correct. So I use this down in the calculations to determine whether or not they have half the cards sorted correctly or not. So if I look here, number C, so we're using our number sync, that's when Act 2, my action button, because I'm on the second slide, has a press count greater than 3, and I take cards, so my total correct, divided by the total cards available, and that's less than half. So this is right here is my calculation that's giving me and letting me know if my student has half the cards sorted correctly or not. So notice I'm going to zoom in on this right here so you can kind of see this piece right here is how we're doing some math in the computation layer. So what I'm doing is I'm taking that number of cards correct and I'm dividing it by the total number of cards, right? So now when I come down here, number M, this is how I got all of those different images to support and to pop up. So we have all the conditions laid out for each of those. Notice this first line here, if I look at the top, is saying I only want to see these images when the button has been pressed. Now the support image was different. That's why I have it set out here, because I want students to be able to go back and forth and see that without having to press the button. But then once they feel good, if you notice, once we got it past that halfway mark, that disappeared and I was able to get my memes up and coming again. Down here at the very bottom, this is where we have our warning. So this is what sends it to the teacher. So if I notice this conditional right here, when my action button has a press count that's greater than 3 and that numeric value is less than half. So that means when my student has pressed it at least 4 times and they still have less than half correct, I'm getting a warning that says, hey, that student might need some assistance. Okay, so that's how our graph component's kind of running. Let's pop over to the note because we had some things happening in that CL as well. So again, I have those same 2 variables that I saw in the last one just so I could do some calculations. And now if we zoom in here so you can kind of see the different things going on, I have time since press is 0. I have sort 1 matches key, so that lets me know when everything is correct. That's how I'm getting that message up there. I have here is my support graphic, right? So that looks familiar from our graph component. So when that press count is greater than 3 and the card correct divided by the total card is less than half, then it's going to give me that message saying it seems like you might need a little help. And then I also have as well down here that when it's just less than 5, it's displaying that you have less than half correct. So that's if I've only pressed it 1, 2, or 3 times, but it's still less than half, I'm going to get the you have less than half correct. And then my final one is you have half correct. So that's my otherwise. So it's gone through and it's checked. All right, first off, it doesn't equal 0. It's not all correct. This condition isn't met, and so my last one, it's assuming, well, then the only thing left is you have more than half correct. Keep going. And that is essentially a rundown of what's making this whole activity tick. So if you have any questions, let me know. Thanks for watching. Y'all keep Desmosing.